handmade boxes are better, like obviously. Today I'm going to show you how I make handmade boxes for my baked goods. These boxes are made for the holidays, but you can use them for Valentine's Day, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, end of school, beginning of summer, 4th of July. You get the idea, right? Basically, you can use handmade boxes for any gift that you want to make. And I'm using a design from the Silhouette store. You can find the link down below. And if not, I've linked some other ones from design bundles that you can use and still have the same result, whether you're using Silhouette Cameo, a Cricut, a Brother Scan and Cut, paper and pen, whatever you feel like to make these boxes will work for you. So just like I do most of my creative hobbies, I'm going to batch this project. So like right now I'm batching all of my YouTube videos. I'm going to batch these boxes the same way. First I'm going to work on the design, then I'm going to cut them all out, then I'm going to weed them, then I'm going to assemble them, then I'm going to stuff them with the yummy treats and then deliver them. So pretty easy. I'll walk you through it. And I hope you enjoyed this video and get some inspiration for a handmade gift for you to give to someone that you love. I'm using the Silhouette Cameos. If you want to have access to that or any electronic cutting machine or just paper and pencil, you can do that as well, because there are some print and assemble boxes that you can do with just your printer and your scissors. You're also going to need tape or glue. I prefer the tape roller guns, so that's a lot quicker and cleaner to use. You're also going to need scissors, a pencil or a pen. Then you're going to need paper. So I'm using 12 by 12 scrapbook paper that I got on Amazon. Then you'll need the cut file or the file to print and cut it out on your computer. And then you'll need acetate. Acetate's a little bit more expensive, so if you don't want to do acetate, you don't have to do the see-through top cut holes that I'm doing on mine, but it does add a nice addition to the box because you can see through it and see your treats. I'll list that below if you want to grab some acetate. A great way to find acetate is other plastic boxes or containers that you've bought stuff in. So I cut like the clear box frame off of like your phone case or your technology container, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? So you can pull that and use that and reuse that for your gift box. So first you're going to want to import your design into your cut machine software. So I'm using Silhouette Cameo, Silhouette Design Studio. I'm going to bring my file in from the store and adjust it to the size I want. I did do a test file and this is the size that I like. And if you don't want to do a test file, you can just measure like the size of the base and then kind of visually figure out if that's going to be big enough for what you want. You want it to fit on your page and you want it to be big enough. So those are the two main concerns right now to get it to fit. If it's not going to fit on an 8.5 by 11, then you may want to look at a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. But if you're printing it, you can't do 12 by 12. So you may just have to do a front of the top of the box on an 8.5 by 11 and the bottom on an 8.5 by 11. So just figure out what works for you. I'm doing the top and 12 by 12 sheet with the little cover embellishment to be able to hide the edges of the tape acetate. But you'll see all that in just a second. So this process will be the same whether you're using a Brother or Silhouette or a Cricut or whatever. The only thing that would be different if you're printing and cutting it, instead of using a machine, you're going to print the design and cut it with scissors. So pick your paper, load it onto your mat, or pick your paper and load it into the printer, cut it out or print it, however you're working on this process. And then once you get everything cut out, you're going to assemble it. For my settings, I am using the preset of scrapbook paper in the Silhouette Studio, and my blade is the auto correct blade, but just in case, the settings I'm putting up here on the screen, so you can take a screenshot of that and use it for later. Don't forget, test print if it doesn't work or if you're not sure. Now, watch aimlessly as the machine just hums along and does the work for you, and then it pops out a freshly cut box template. Now, after you get a bunch of them cut and ready to go, you can start assembling as you're cutting and loading, but I like to just feed mine and then stack them all up and then assemble them at the end. I'm going to glue all the edges, and then I'm using a tape roller because it's quicker and cleaner. piece of foil on the bottom just to keep the fudge from like greasing through the bottom of the paper. You can use wax paper too, I guess. So I put that in there and then I put the top on. Tape all the edges, fold it into a box. Then I'm going to put my acetate piece. I cut them to size, just slightly smaller than my box. Then I'm going to tape the edges and put it on top. And then I'm going to take the little embellishment cover piece and tape that on top to hide the acetate edges, because you can still see through it and see the glue. So I like to remove that unfinished look and make it look a little more polished. Lastly, filler up. and put your goodies in. I made fudge and I made cookies. They were pretty secure without like a string or something, but in the past I had tied a string around it and wrote their name out on a little tag and tied that on there too. So whatever you feel like you have time for, or energy, or resources, because we're all in different situations and different things. So I hope that inspires you to create something for a family or a friend that might enjoy it, or even something for yourself. You never know when you're gonna want to surprise yourself with a little gift of some goodies. You don't have to do baked goods. You can throw some chocolate in there, or even roll up some cash and stuff it in there. Who knows? So, all right, guys, until the next video, I hope you stay crafty, make something awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. So my dream goal would be to have like blank paper, screen print the design on the paper, and then cut it and fold it into these boxes or something similar, which would be super cool. So I think I'm gonna play with that at some point. I have it screen printed on paper that I've used for like card sentiments. So that's going to be in my card class on Skillshare. So you can check that out down below. But something that would be fun is to screen print on paper and then turn that into things. So be on the lookout for that, because I'll probably start playing around with that at some point.